Welcome to my journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. I am so glad you all have joined us today for another episode of my journey with Paula G. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are returning, we are so glad to have you back. I always say to you all, time is precious. It is the one thing that you cannot get back. So for you to think it not robbery to spend this time with us is truly, truly appreciated. Thank you so very much for being on this journey. Well, we always start with a jewel on the journey. And today I'm going to share, a verse that I love myself. And I know that a lot of you have heard. It's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper and not harm you. And I know in these times that we're in right now, sometimes it may not seem like the blessings are coming, but sometimes we just have to navigate through the journey to get to the blessing. So I hope that encourages someone today. Well, I am excited to have our guest on with us today. And also, we want to thank our underwriters for my journey with Paula G for being a part of this journey as well. We cannot forget our underwriters. My guest today is a young man who is affectionately known, as are many children around the country, affectionately known as an Army brat with a love for diverse music. And he is here with us today to share a bit of his journey. Please welcome Mr. Hakeem Romance. I like that. Hakeem Romance, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I am fabulous. I woke up this morning, so all is well, all is well, all is well, all is well. Well, we want to share with the audience a little bit about your journey. We always say that we're juggling this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. So, before we get to the conversation about your music, give us a little bit of background of what it was like growing up as an Army brat. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term, it is a term of endearment, a term that was given years ago, and I think there's some history behind it, to children of active duty personnel. And your father was a chief
Hmm.
warrant officer, not one, not two, not three, but four.
Yeah,
And mama was a master sergeant. What was
yeah.
life like for little Hakeem?
Well, it was fun.
Uh-huh.
Traveling was cool.
Yeah.
But my thing was, I know I didn't stay in a school longer than a
Yeah.
year because moving state to state, place to place, not even state to state, country. I lived in Korea for about 5 to 7 years. That was fun though. I mean, got a lot of culture in that. And the funny part is the fact that I lived over there for so long, I still don't know how to speak Korean. I know, thank you, you're welcome. That's about it. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Well, but I can understand that though, because in some of these assignments, especially some of the assignments that are out of country, the military base is really a large city or a big city in some cases. So in some instances, even as a child, there may not necessarily have been a need for you to go off base because everything is,
Hmm.
right there on base. You're a lot of times the schools are on base, so you may not get a chance to interact, with the local people on the quote unquote economy, as we used to call it. So I can certainly understand. Yeah, I can certainly understand that, and being in a different school every year as well.
Yeah.
How as a child, how do you feel you were able to make those adjustments?
Um, really is really, you gotta make the best of the situation. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
my whole thing was, um, anywhere I go, I'm gonna make some friends. I'm I'm likable. I joke a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm a goofball. Everybody loves that. So, and then one thing is that anywhere that I went, I always
yeah,
made sure it's like anybody do they got a basketball court? Because if that's the case, then okay, cool. I'm with it. As long as they got a basketball court and I'm outside, I'm always outside. I was always outside. I know I looked at baby pictures. I wasn't this skin color. I was probably like a lot lighter than you. but I got dark because I was always outside.
Yeah. And that happens. And I think you can go to any country in the world, live in any country, and there's a basketball court somewhere.
Yes, yes.
There definitely is a basketball court. So, as an adult, do you find yourself struggling with staying in one place for an extended period of time? Because for me, it has manifested into changing the furniture in my house every 3 months.
I don't know about that, but but nah. Nah, I'm pretty. Not I don't want to say stagnant because I don't like that word,
Mhm,
but I'm pretty
mhm.
like in the same place right now. I kind of miss traveling, so that's in a way I need to get back on that, like really get back to that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Can you share with us what were some of the most perhaps memorable places that you lived, or maybe memorable experiences as it relates to the man that you are today?
Um, well, as far as like being in Korea, uh, when you said we don't get to really interact with the locals and everything. I did because
Mhm,
they had
mhm,
science museums. I'm like, yo, their
mhm.
different types of science was it was to me. I'm a little kid. I'm like, yo, what is that? What does that do? Oh my god, this is crazy. And then they had their own amusement parks. I miss it. I miss it so much. Um, so yeah, it's pretty much
Yes,
my childhood to me was fun. It was really fun. Like despite
yeah.
all the like
It's
a lot of people say they don't like doing all the traveling. Like some army brats, they didn't like doing all the traveling because they missed their friends. I was happy to travel. Like I'm going to a new place. A lot of people not doing this.
exactly, and you get those experiences in life like, no other. I often, even with my children who are adults now and have children of their own, they have said the same thing, that to be able to live in different places, not only in the United States, but other countries, really gives you a broad perspective of the world we live in. And it really is an experience and showing you that, we as Americans, we love our country, but we as Americans are not the only one on the planet.
Right,
And the way that we do things, is not the only way. There are other ways to do things. And in some instances, there might be some ways that, a little bit better than the way that we do them.
right.
So it really is a great experience to have in regard to diversity. So share with us how your experiences moving around the country, moving around the world every year or so, and especially with both parents active duty. That's a lot of, PCS and TDY and deployments and so forth. Share with us how that shaped and helped your love of music develop.
Um, really, as far as like moving around and everything, I don't really think music had anything to do with that. But the things that really had to do with music was my favorite movies were The Temptations, Five Heartbeats. Like I really thought I'm pretty sure a lot of people, I can speak for a lot of people, uh we thought that the Five Heartbeats was a real group, but they weren't. But
Hmm, hmm.
yeah, but as far as like moving around, like you said before, yeah, you definitely get to experience like different cultures. You see different ways people do things, like you said, and like you said, it's not the only way. As far as like how people do things here, where we live at in America, this ain't the only way. There's other stuff that people got going on, and it's just as good or better.
Yeah. Share with us a bit about your music and what
Well,
inspired some of the pieces.
I was inspired without me knowing is riding around with my dad because all he used to play was his thing, his go go, Barry White, and the Temptation. He plays a lot of old school stuff. So that was me getting a history lesson without me knowing, right? So in some of my songs, I feel like in some of my songs now, and even some of the stuff that I try to make, I feel myself. I'm like some the way I sing stuff. I'm like, yeah, I sound kind of old because I'm, the stuff that I was, doing history lessons on. So yeah, I'm trying to not necessarily keep up with the times because you don't want to follow. I don't want to follow trends. I want to, make music my way, the way I see stuff. So yeah, a lot of history
But you know
lessons. A
what,
lot of history lessons.
yes, yes, and that experience is what is going to give you longevity. We refer to, what I consider young people because I'm of the baby boomer generation, but young men and young women such as yourself as an old soul, where you have that, like you said, you were getting that history lesson, and that was ingrained in you and kind of marinated in you. You talk about go-go, you talking about Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers. Don't take me back. I'm trying to focus here. Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, and all of those groups. So that's a good foundation infused within the gifts and the talents that you have to develop your unique sound that will have longevity, and I dare say will be classic year
I
and years to
appreciate that. I
come.
definitely appreciate
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So riding around with your dad, was he singing along with the songs, or was he dancing along? What was your dad doing while?
it. It's one of the it's one of them things. He turned it up like, boy, what you know about that? Nothing. I don't. I don't know.
or or maybe he had that lean. Did he have the lean with the shades down and the?
Nah, my dad, he's a Corvette kind of dude. So everywhere
uh,
we went, he always found himself with a Corvette. And yeah, that happens to be my favorite car now
with a
because of
Corvette,
him. Yeah.
a Corvette.
Yeah. Like my dad, like back in the 90s, he was so into like
I
Corvettes.
I
He
stories
had
like that.
yeah,
Uh,
he had an all white Corvette. But this car, like he had like this what early 90s. So he had the phone in the car. He
the
had
phone in
yeah,
the
he had
90s.
a little he had the telephone in the
Come
car. You
on
just
now.
pick up a yo. Like, yeah, this is cool. So that's probably the main reason why I like Corvettes now, because my dad, he had the phone in there. He big time.
You remember that phone?
Yep. Yep.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And like I said, it's so great to hear those kinds of stories. And so, tell us what kind of influence your mom had over you. What are some of the things that you remember?
Um, just being there. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah. What
yeah.
a funny story. As far as like childhood with my mom, I had asked her, like I needed help. I'm in the fourth grade. I needed help with my homework, right? Math homework. So she wasn't good at
Mhm.
math. But I'm like, it's fourth grade homework. What you mean you're not good at math? So I'm sitting there like, yo, mom, I need some help with my homework. Fourth grade. So she looking at it, I'm like, okay. So she gave me the answers. I'm like, you older than me. This must be right. I go home. I mean, I go to school the next day, all of them wrong. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. How you give me the wrong answer?
Oh,
Wait. How that work? It's fourth grade. What you doing? That's yeah, that's
she did the
yeah.
best she
But
could.
she tried. She tried. She tried.
She did the best she could. That
You know.
yeah, that wasn't her MOS. Math wasn't
Nah.
her. Math wasn't her MOS. What is it that you'd like to share with the audience in regard to walking in your gifts, walking your talents as you are doing? That's my first question. And then, after you've shared that, I want you to share your social media and how the audience can stay connected with you.
Okay. Um, as far as that goes, um, you just gotta find out what you're good at. Um, for a long time, like I had basketball dreams. I wanted to be in the NBA. I wanted to go to college, off a basketball scholarship and go straight to the league. That didn't really happen. To me with that, I kind of fell out of love with it because like in high school, I saw the business of it. Now that I'm older, I understand the business. Still don't like it, but I understand why it
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
So, but while I'm sitting there playing basketball, I find out, I'm good at other stuff. So let me try different things. So I found out that I was really good at singing. A lot of people was
Yeah.
telling me like, yo, you should try that out. I'm like, okay. All right. So I didn't really start getting serious with music
Mm.
until I graduated like high school. So yeah, so ever since I graduated high school, that was like back in '09.
Mhm.
I've been serious ever since. Um but yeah, as far as like the journey wise, whatever it is that,
Mhm.
somebody wants to do, whatever it is that you want to do, you just got to find out what you're good at, what you love. You got to find out what you're passionate about. And if it really like fires you up, that might be something that you might want to get into.
Mm. Awesome. Awesome. And share with our audience your social media, how we can stay connected.
Yes. So my social media, my Instagram is at Hakeem_romance. Then I have my own website, www.hakeemromance.net. A lot of my music is on there. Yeah, so follow me, check me out. A lot of stuff coming in the works. I'm working on new things every day. So
Well, we love it, and it certainly has, and the listeners as well. As you shared your journey growing up and the experiences that you have had, growing up, experience with your father and your mother, and moving around, and how those things really they do infuse in you, and not just you, but all of us. The
mhm.
experiences that we have, and it kind of shapes the person that we become. And then when we have those gifts and we have those talents, we're then able to just kind of fuse all of that together. So I appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much for being a part of the journey. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being a part of the journey. And remember that the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? What is your I am? Until next time, embrace the journey.
Let's go! Come on! 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on! Now put your hands right. That's it. your hands off. Come on. I like this part. One more time. I'm taking my joy back. Come on. Yeah. I'm taking my peace back. Come on. I want my victory. And I want it now. Come on. Y'all ready? Let's go.
I was created just for you, you and only you. I will give you full control. My life, it is yours. Come on, was created just for you, you and only you. I will give you full control. Come on, company, say it. Was created just for you. Will give you full control. Listen, created for your pleasure. So what do you want me to do? I will bless you at all times 'cause you see me through. I wanna hear your voice when you speak. God, I'm listening. Let me hear from thee when you speak. 'Cause I wanna be free. Let me hear you say, created just for you. Hey, I will give you full control. Come on. I was created just for you. I will. Created. Created. I was. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. Come on, take it up, up in the air. Created. Said I was. Created. Oh. Said I was. Created to worship, created to praise, created to lift up His holy name. Created me a clean heart, renewing me a right spirit. Baptize me with your spirit. Baptize me with your power. I need your power to do your will, 'cause I was created. Hey, created, created. Said I was just for you, just for you. Hey, just for you.